Background of supply. Firms have to make many decisions to achieve its main objective, being profit maximization. In these decisions, we can identify different types of decisions. Some are critical for the survival of a firm. Others are irreversible or very costly. And finally, other decisions are easily reversed and less critical to the survival of the firm, but yet they still influence profit. What is actually profit? Profit equals revenues minus cost. Revenue is the income generated from sales. We find revenue by multiplying quantity of sales times the sales price. If we then look at cost, we can identify fixed cost and variable cost. Fixed costs don't change with output, whereas variable costs change with output. As long as the average revenue exceeds the average total cost, a firm is making profit. Let's have a look at an example of pro painters. They hire students at 250 euros a week. They also lease equipment at a rate of 500 euros a week. Below you will find a schedule showing the relationship between the number of workers per week and the output that these workers produce. So one worker produces 2 painted houses, whereas 6 workers have 15 houses painted per week. How does that lead to profit and or loss? We have to look at total revenues. We'll have to look at total cost to determine to what extent a profit or a loss is occurred. We assume the sales price to be 150. So at an output of 2 times 150 gives a total revenue of 300. If we look at total output 12 with 4 employees, 12 times 150 is 1800. If we then look at the cost, the fixed costs don't change with output. So no matter how many employees we hire, the fixed costs are 500. The variable costs are set by the hiring of employees. We pay them 250 per employee per week. So if we, for example, hire 3 workers, 3 times 250 equals 750. The total cost are the fixed cost and the variable cost added together. So for example, with 6 employees, we'll have a total cost of 2000. How do we now determine profit or loss? By subtracting the total cost from total revenue. Between brackets, you will find a loss. So at an output of 2, with only 1 employee, the company will incur a loss of 450. And as you can see, the profit gradually increases. But please notice, from 5 to 6 workers, the profit decreases from 350 to 250. The company is still making a profit, but at 5 workers with a total output of 14, it is maximizing its profit. An increase in revenue or a reduction in cost increases profit. To increase revenue, a company can increase prices. If we're talking about decreasing fixed cost, they will have to reduce the leasing cost in this example. And if we're talking about a reduction in variable cost, we need to talk about the reduction of payment to employees. The conclusion: the firm makes many decisions to achieve its main objective, profit maximization. Profit is the revenues minus cost, and to increase profit, the firm tries to increase revenues or to reduce cost.